I thought Silence wasn't a great movie. It was pretty bad actually. It was really boring and it was poorly written. The plot in this movie is pretty non-existent. I mean, like, there is a plot, but it's a bit meh. I think that with different actors or a different director, the story might have worked. And that's not to say that Martin Scorsese is a bad director, because he's not. I liked some of his films, like Shutter Island was really good. I think he was just unlucky with this one. This was a movie he'd wanted to make for a long time. I feel like sometimes when you're really passionate about something, you become blind to their flaws, and I guess that's what happened here. So I'm going to go through the plot now, and if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest don't watch this part of the review. I guess I'll put a timestamp in the description so you can skip the spoilers if you want to. Two Portuguese priests, played by Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, insist on going to Japan to find their mentor priest, Liam Neeson, even though Christians are being prosecuted in Japan at the moment. So they go there and they get accepted into this village, and everyone speaks English, even though they're just like fishermen and housewives or whatever, and Japan's under complete lockdown, so that part didn't quite make sense. Instead of looking for Liam, the priests stay in the village and hold masses and baptizes children and shit like that. Then Andrew Garfield goes to a neighboring village and baptizes everyone there, and after he's done, he returns to the first village. The Inquisitor comes and crucifies 3 people for being Christian, and Andrew and Adam decide that they have to split up to continue their mission, whatever their mission is. So Andrew goes back to the second village only to find it burned to the ground and filled with cats. Like, the humor is very off in this movie. After wandering around the mountains for a bit, Andrew runs into someone from the first village, Chichichiro, a man who has denied Christ several times to save his own life. But he helps Andrew and confesses to him. But then Andrew is taken by the Inquisitor. Instead of being tortured, Andrew is imprisoned, and he helps the other captives by praying and hearing their confessions. But then the other captives are tortured, and one of them is decapitated, even though he stepped on Jesus' face. Andrew is taken to the beach where he has to watch the Japanese Christians be drowned, and Adam Driver is there, and he's also drowned when he tries to save the others. Then Andrew goes to prison again, and then out of nowhere Liam Neeson wants to meet him, and it turns out Liam has converted to Buddhism and he wants Andrew to do the same. Andrew refuses but is forced to watch people get tortured, and so he steps on Jesus' face to stop them from getting more tortured. Andrew is appointed a wife and a job and lives out the rest of his life in Japan as a Buddhist, except at the end he's still carrying a cross to his grave, so jokes on them, he believed in God this whole time. The problem with this script is that it's not very good. The pacing is weird and it's very on the nose, and it's very inconsistent as well. Like, sometimes there are subtitles when they're talking Japanese, but then other times there are no subtitles, which is basically the movie telling you this bit is important, you should pay attention here, and then the rest is not important. But I think it's better if they just subtitle everything and then we can figure out for ourselves which bits are important and not. And that's a really big problem I had actually. The movie's always telling you everything, it's just feeding you all the information. It's always telling you what the characters are thinking and what they're feeling. It's very on the nose. There was one clever bit where Liam is saying he still has God in his heart, but I think they kind of ruined it. Some of the other problems I had was the title card. I thought the title card looks really dumb. Like, what kind of font is this? It's some sans serif shit, and it looks really cheap and tacky in a movie that's supposed to be very serious. We hear Liam Neeson narrating at the beginning of the movie, and I just like rolled my eyes. Narration is so lazy. I don't know why people do it, especially like Scorsese. He's made some really good movies. He doesn't need to do narration. Actually, the narration is my biggest complaint about this film. Like, at the beginning there's Liam Neeson, and then there's Andrew Garfield, and then at the end you have this like German guy just come out of nowhere and narrate, which is really random by the way, but it's also very unnecessary. The narration doesn't add anything to the movie. Every time there was narration, I was pulled out of the movie and reminded that I'm watching a movie, and it just completely ruined the experience for me. I think if they took out all of the narration in this movie except for the one bit where Andrew has Jesus's voice in his head, except for that, if they just took out all of the narration and left the movie exactly like it is, it would be so much more powerful. There are some good performances here, just let them speak for themselves, you know, like, don't rely on all of this poor on the nose narration. Some of the performances weren't great though. I thought Liam Neeson was pretty bad. Like, he didn't really do anything, he was just himself. I think his character should have been played by Leonardo DiCaprio or Michael Fassbender. That would have been cool to see. Adam Driver was really good. It's just too bad we barely get to see any of him. I wish we could have spent more time with his character. Better yet, make him the main character instead of Spider-Man, and maybe it wouldn't have sucked so much. Which isn't really fair to Andrew Garfield because his performance was mostly good. I say mostly because there are some parts in this movie where he just looks really silly and it kind of takes you out of the movie and reminds you that you're watching a movie. But usually it's really good and I was impressed overall. I even cried on several occasions, but I think that's just because I was sleepy and bored. The one thing I really liked about this movie was the sound. It is very minimalistic. There's not a lot of music and background noise, so that when there is noise you kind of notice it very clearly, and I thought that worked really well with the tone of the movie. But overall it wasn't a good movie and I think I would give it a 4 out of 10.